So let me clarify something from the last video. The guy who was the Lion Moonlight with the axe, he did confirm that he was that his tribe was fighting against the wolves. The wolves, it seemed like well actually fighting against the vampires, and he showed utter disdain for the wolves. Like he looked at them as like these lesser, like kind of like barbaric creatures and everything. So he didn't seem to have like any great love for any of the big factions we've been fighting since we've been here. So anyway, back to what I was saying. He was leaving, and his guide was coming, but before the guide got there, um, I was sensing out for Nas, couldn't censor, and Amarsa summoned some kind of a creature. It might have been like I think it was either like a large insect, like a bird-sized insect, or an actual bird type creature. But it was made of energy, and it went flying off. And she said it was going to go, or no, she summoned two, and they were different. Maybe it was one insect and one bird, but one of them was to, excuse me, one of them was for offense, she said, and the other was to find Nas. So eventually the guy shows up, and he's like this guy named Vivo. He is a person, but I think he's kind of like, if I remember correctly, he's a little caveman like. But he speaks normally. So he was he said that he worked for the Lion Tribe, and he was here to escort me out or us out. So he takes us out, and we're obviously still here for a mission. We don't really want to leave, so we're trying to figure out ways we can finagle the situation and everything. And Vivo's not having it. Vivo's like, listen, I'm on a job to get you guys off the planet, so you're leaving and everything. And we're like, okay, Vivo, cool, be cool. So, oh, while we were outside, I was able to sense Nas, and I think right at the same time that a Martian creature found her. So Nas is way on the other side of the planet, and I can't sense Seagay, and Amarsa hasn't been able to detect him as well. So like Vivo is traveling like at regular like human speeds, like he's like ascending a cliff and all this kind of shit. I'm like, Vivo, listen, I can fly and I can like lift us up and stuff, and I like lift them up with energy. I was like, if you just tell me where to go, I can just take us and everything. Because he did express that there was potential dangers and stuff out here. So despite the fact that we weren't necessarily trying to leave, we didn't want to get flanked either. So I picked him up and I carried us with energy over to the spot that he was leading us to, and it was some kind of valley in the mountains, and it was this like big energy beam that was like it was like yeah, like a big energy beam that was just shooting up from the ground that went straight up into the sky. And he was like, yeah, like just go ahead and walk inside. We're like, what? I said, where does this take you? He's like, off the planet. I was like, where? Or he's like, somewhere else. I was like, where? He's like, off the planet. I was like, okay, where specifically? He's like, I don't know, man. You're just supposed to go through and leave the planet. Okay, Vivo, like, really? Like, just walk into a beam of light? And he's like, listen, he's like, you're doing it again. You're doing the thing where you're not supposed to be doing what you're doing. Like, Vivo, I hear you. I understand you got a job to do. And the next thing you know, I can feel powers coming in, and you can hear, oh, like some of the wolves. And Vivo's like, listen, I got to get out of here. He's like, you guys do whatever. And he just leaves. So I can sense the wolves like around, but they're not necessarily coming in yet. So me and like Amarsa, are talking, and she's like, like Nas isn't here, and I was like, and I don't know where Seagate is. Next thing I know, I could feel the wolves coming in, and I'm sensing out, and the DM said there's roughly 80 to about 120 of them, like converging in on us, and I'm like, and I say that I was like, Amarsa, we got about 100 of these creatures incoming. We gotta get the hell out of here, and like she's like, okay, like listen. She's like, I'm gonna go after Nas, and I look at her like, what? And like, and she's like, trust me, just go through. I'll be right behind you. And I go and I travel through the beam, and like I do, I am somewhat hesitant, but it's like I'm just deciding to trust her. You know, she's HHR. She's here for a reason. So I go through the beam, and I flew into the sky beam. She said she'd be right behind me, and the wolves are converging in. That's where I went on pause.